What's the deal, my people? You know what it is. Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another one. And this is an impromptu live Q&A brought to you by me, the Don Tony Teflon. We jumping this motherfucker off right now. So hopefully everybody in the chat is here. Everyone is listening live and all that good stuff. So, first off, I would just like to say what up to everybody in the chat. What up to all my people out there? What up to everybody watching this stuff, short notice basis and stuff. Now, I was not going to do anything, in all honesty. In fact, I had no intention of getting up here and doing any type of live stream at all. But my subscriber, Amber Chitman, hit me up and asked me if I was doing anything, and I asked her, do you want me to? And she did not get back to me, but I guess that meant she did. And, I'm home, and I ain't got nothing to do. So I said, what up, what up, what up? So the first, let me make sure that the mic is right. Does my mic sound right in the chat? Does everyone here in the chat hear me all good and clear and stuff like that? What up to my girl, Tamara Young? I don't know if it's the first time I seen her in the chat, but what up to you, girl? What up to the one true David Adams? What up to my man, Oscar Rodriguez? What up to my man, Jamie Sneed? What up to my man, David? What up to my man, Robert Stoneborough? What up to all those people, you know what I mean? So, we are here and we are gonna talk. What up to Chase Tate? Sorry about that. What up to KOWN? I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced, but I'm gonna say what up to you. What up to my man Iotron? What up to my girl Amber Chipman? You know what I mean? So let's get into it. What up to white privilege? Not white, but white privilege. What up to all y'all? You know what I mean? So we gonna get into this, and what up to ours is the Fury. We're going to give some more shout outs a little bit later and stuff like that. But we're going to get into this Game of Thrones trailer. We're going to talk about what we've seen and what y'all seen. And if you have any questions for me, we're going to talk about it. But first, before we get into it, while we still have a smaller audience right now, still larger than a lot of people who do live streams for just jumping it off. But until we get a lot more people in here. But until a lot more people get here, I got something I just want to talk about real quick. That's not Game of Thrones related. That's why I can't really put it up on my channel and stuff. But it's this goddamn DC trailer. Now, I did you all see the DC trailer? See the DC trailer, new trailer for the Justice League. I don't want to spoil nothing for anyone who hasn't seen it or anything like that, but has everyone seen this new trailer for DC, the Justice League? I'm going to assume that everybody has seen this right here, right? So I have seen all these people out here, and they have this goddamn trailer, and they are saying how great this trailer is and how spectacular this trailer is. And Jason Momoa jumping on top of the Batmobile is so great. Everyone's loving this goddamn trailer. Let me tell you the truth. I have no motherfucking loyalty to DC or Marvel at all. I have no loyalty to them whatsoever. I am not a fanboy at all about this situation. So my opinion on these trailers are totally strictly what they are. At least I do not walk around in DC underoos. Now I know a lot of other Game of Thrones, and I'm gonna put my man Don the Kraken Wit in that category. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I would say he is a DC fanboy. Now there's nothing wrong with that. And you can rep your thing, but I'm not into that. So I'm going to tell you what I think about this goddamn trailer. This trailer is shit, all right? And when I mean shit like garbage. Garbage like Sanford and Son could take this junk and stick it on their truck, get Lamont and Red Fox and haul that shit back to their thing. I don't know how anybody would ever think anything different. The only way you could believe that this is a good trailer is because you are a fanboy. There's no other way to do it. Now, when you see the trailer, I would say that Batman looks good. He's always looked good. Ben Affleck Batman looks tremendous. Looks like the best Batman that we see. In every scene we see Batman in, it looks like the Arkham City's video games. And that's what they're copying here. We know this, and that's why it looks good. But when we look at character, let's look at him. We see Wonder Woman do a leg sweep that doesn't even hit the person. If you slow down the footage, you can see that she misses by a mile. Now, are they going to say that the wind from her kick is what made this person fall? Because it looked like a Ryu Street Fighter sweep that she was trying to accomplish here, and she missed it. All right? Next, when we look at goddamn Cyborg, he is a fucking robot. Why are you calling him Cyborg? He's a fucking robot. There's no fucking man in there. Only man, he looks like a fucking black RoboCop. That's what he looks like, and it looks terrible. It's so crazy because when you see this dude is jacked in real life. The guy playing Cyborg, jacked. So why wouldn't you want to show him in the muscle-bound form that he is? Instead, you got this guy, just a straight robot with this one red eye. He kind of looks like Deathstroke. And then they put a mask on his face and have him flying like Iron Man. I mean, you got to make up your own shit. It's just bullshit. Next, the Flash. Terrible. That's the most terrible costume. It's so CGI. It looks so fucking fake that it's just disgusting. I'd rather watch the CW Flash than this Flash. And I don't know why he's got the blue lightning. I like blue lightning. I really do. But there's no reason for the first movie out. They should have had him in the yellow lightning. And if they wanted to transition him to blue lightning, then they should have transitioned him to that. It's disgusting. Next thing we are going to talk about is Jason Momoa Aquaman. Now, listen. He's got a little couple of one-liners, and I think the only one-liners that work are delivered by Ben Affleck. Those work. But, I mean, when you say, oh, yeah, a man in a bat costume, I could dig it. I mean, you can dig it? You can dig it? It's just the fucking Warriors? Is that what it is? Is this the Warriors? Can yo, dead guy. Is that what he's going to say to me in a second? Because that's what I'm feeling. It's about to come out of his mouth. You know what I mean? So, to me, my opinion, as somebody who was not a fanboy of this motherfucker, I'm telling you, it's shit. And the thing is that they have to do is they have to figure out what they want to do. When they first came out, they said, we want to be dark. We want to be so dark, right? And now they got people crack. What are you going to be? Because you see it work for Guardians of the Galaxy, these wisecracks. So they said, all right, well, let's make our guys crack wildcats. People want, that's what people want. So now we got to have our guys telling jokes. That's what they want. You know, you can't do that. When Marvel does it, they have a specific thing for each movie is different. And that's why it works. And these guys are just fucking copycats. Now, I'm going to get to the Spider-Man trailer since Marvel put out a trailer. This trailer is a good trailer. When you see this motherfucker Mike as the motherfucking Birdman, the Vulture, he looks scary. When he's talking and he says to you, I'll kill you and everyone you fucking love. You believe that shit. That shit is real. You know what I mean? That shit is right. The only thing I would complain about the Marvel trailer is it seems to me they gave away the whole fucking movie. I think I know exactly what's going to happen beat by beat in this movie till it ends. I know the whole story. That I think they gave away too much. They didn't have to give away all of that. Gonna give him the suit, take the suit away, and all that. You don't have to do all that. But for actual the trailer itself, what would make me want to watch the movie is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, I would rather watch the Spider-Man movie. And DC, let's look at the track record of DC. Can we do that for Batman versus Superman movie? Sucked. Batman versus Superman. Shit. The fucking Suicide Squad. Disgusting. Every movie they came out with, they have not come out with a good movie since Chris Nolan. That's the bottom line. No, if anyone who's gonna tell me that that Superman movie was good, you're crazy. Watch it with me and point out that they said, all right, what's in vogue right now? Caption deep sea fishing, capturing lobsters. So we're gonna have Superman as a guy going around taking lobsters out of traps. The bottom line is if Duck Dynasty was there, they would have had Superman in the motherfucking 10-foot beard. You know what I mean? If motherfucking Dirtiest Jobs was fucking the hot show at that time, they would have had fucking Superman going shoveling shit. So they're just doing whatever they could do that they think is popular in the community and at the time, and so let's make Superman do that then. That's the #1 show. Let's make Superman do it. Yes, that's what they want. That's what they. No, they don't, motherfucker. We don't want that. The DC animated movie, right? They know how to do it. If all you gotta do is copy the animated movie. The Wonder Woman animated movie is probably one of the best animated movies I've ever fucking seen. That's a great fucking movie. You know what I mean? So that's all you got. You want to copy something, stop trying to copy Marvel's ass and copy the animated movies. You know, these people, I don't understand them. Next, and Marvel's gonna get it right now. So don't think so. Fucking this motherfucking Iron fucking Fist is an iron piece of shit. All right, that's the bottom line. The actor, this Loris Tyrell is the worst actor I've ever seen in my motherfucking life. He shouldn't even be doing Burger King commercials, let alone being the. And it's called Iron Fist, and you showed the Iron Fist 3 fucking times in the whole fucking movie. You got an industry, a corporation, Rand Corporation. What the fuck do you do in the Rand Corporation? You never say what they're doing. They're just a corporation. That's it. This is a straight fucking corporation. Well, this is the Rand Corporation. What do you do? Well, we corporate. You piece of shit. Do something right. Tell me what they do. What do they manufacture? Let me know. The other actors outshine the main guy in every fight scene. How the backup guy? It's like fucking it's like the Green Arrow in Kato. And Kato's kicking everyone's ass, and the Green Arrow's standing there. This is what it is with Iron Fist. Everyone's outshining him. He's the worst fucking fighter out of them all. He's terrible. And what I think they should have did, and then you have him go. She goes to the chick. She tells him, "Oh, my friend's been fighting the hand," and the fucker blows it off like it don't matter. When you just said before, my whole destiny is to fight the hand. She just told you she had a friend fighting the hand, and you don't even talk about it to her. You don't even show the fucking hidden land he's from. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's just fucking terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's the first Marvel flop on Netflix, but what the fuck was? What you should have did. I would have rather seen a chick in the main role. What you should have did. And I'm going to say, you want to change shit up? You should have got an Asian actor to play Iron Fist. You should have got one and just use it just like that. That is what you should have done. You should have got one and used the Asian actor that can do the fucking fight scenes. This guy, I'm trying to tell you, Loris Tyrell, I don't know his fucking real name. I mean, he was decent in Game of Thrones, maybe because his parts were so short, but when he is trying to carry the fucking role, this motherfucker can't carry shit. He can't carry a ham sandwich. This motherfucker is terrible. He is the worst. The worst goddamn actor I done seen. There's no way he should be the lead character of motherfucking Iron Fist. Fucking shit is called Iron Fist, and they show the Iron Fist 3 fucking 10 episodes. What the fuck is that? Your backflip kicks look like shit. I seen better acrobatics in the fucking WWE. I seen better sell jobs in the WWE. It's just fucking goddamn crazy. Just fucking nuts. And that's all I got to say about these goddamn superhero movies that are out right now. I'm sorry if I bored you for a second, but let me get a drink here real quick. All right, people. So if anyone has a question or anything about what I just said, I will take questions about these goddamn these movies real quick before we move on to Game of Thrones real quick. Let's see real quick. Down the cracking wit, he's over here. Get him, Tony. You must not heard the first part. Yeah. But he can hear it though. He can hear it. Cause I gotta say it the way it was. All right, listen. Logan was very good. If you want to talk Logan, I'm not saying anything bad about Logan. Logan was phenomenal. That's the way a superhero movie is supposed to be done. I got love for Logan. If you're gonna do a movie, do it like Logan. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Logan was done correct, and it was the way it was supposed to be. And as for this, they're over here. They're saying that there's gonna be a Batgirl movie and all these things. Man, I ain't got no faith in the motherfucking DC universe whatsoever. And you can shine that pity on the Ron Connie side, my main Danny, if you want to talk a little Pootie Tang. Because Pootie Tang had better belt skills than goddamn Danny Rand had fucking Iron Fist skills. Fuck that Iron Fist up. I think Blank Man would have fucked that Iron Fist up. Anyone would have beat that goddamn Iron Fist. Iron Fist my ass. No goddamn Iron Fist. The effect looked cool as fuck. But you didn't even do it. All right, so now we're going to go into, don't want to talk about, we're going to go right into the Game of Thrones. Talk that, so I'll probably put a mark in it. So if people don't want to hear that stuff, you can just skip right to this. So Chase Tate asks, what did you think of the trailer? Well, the trailer itself, you know, I'm happy they showed the trailer. I was looking forward to seeing a trailer from them and getting something popping from them. But, you know, I'd rather see clips from the season that we're going to see. I like those type of trailers better than this type of trailer that they shoot just for the trailer. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see it. I was happy to break it down. You know, but I'm not going to say I was ecstatic to see it. You know, last year when they showed the Sir Arthur Dayne and shit like that, you know, that's what gets me excited when I see stuff like that. So when I see a couple of clips from the actual season, I will say that it was shocking to see that the throne on Dragonstone, that they had that throne there for Dany, and if they actually put that in there that quick, I didn't think that they would confirm Dany being on Dragonstone in the promo trailer, but you know they did do that. So it's okay. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I'm not gonna say anything terrible about it or anything like that. But I thought it was alright. It was nothing special, but it was good. Daryl asked, was the blue eye ice dragon or a giant? I don't think it was either the ice dragon or a giant. I think it's going to be a white, because that eye is of a white walker. That's not a white eye. You know what I mean? That's not a dead person's eye that got brought back to reanimated eye. Because when you see the reanimated eye, it's just a regular eyeball of the person and they put a little blue tint in it. You know what I mean? But this was definitely a white walker eye. And we don't see anything dead yet that can become a white walker. The only thing you see living things that have become white walkers. So even when we see Benjamin Stark and he was nearly dead, he still didn't become a white walker. He just become a white that he can still walk around as. You know what I mean? So I don't really see that being a ice dragon or a giant. Now, in the books, I do believe that we will get a reanimated giant in the books. Whether they pull that off in the show, they should do it. But, you know, I don't know how the hell they would do it because they only really showed the one giant at the end, one. I don't know if they're going to have him, how they're going to, what they did with his body. I'm sure they burnt that big motherfucker because who's digging that hole in this snow? It's you know, it's, you can't get through the, you can't get through the, you can't get through the dirt in the wintertime. You know what I mean? So I can't see it going down any other way like that. So there's no way I can see him turning it into a situation like that. They had to burn him, so there's no way that it could be a giant turning into a White Walker. As I said, you have to be alive. From what we know about White Walkers, you have to be alive to become a White Walker. Why would that be a situation that he would be a White Walker? They had to burn one most likely because the ground's too hard to bury that motherfucker at this particular time. That's the way I would see it. So, I'm not trying to tell you anything but my opinion. It could be. It could be. The mic is messed up again. Well, this is what happens when I do these things. I don't understand why the mic. It'll probably come back again. I think what happens is that people, they be hitting me on my phone and hitting me up all the time. And when they do, that's what happens. I think that it takes away from my Wi-Fi service. Let me turn my phone off then. Oh, turn my phone off. Oh, it's terrible. I think that's what happened. People, they be hitting me up on the phone and stuff like that, and it just fucks up my mic and shit. But I do believe that the microphone will clear itself up. It usually does in a second, so just bear with it for now. And, I'm not going to go on all night with this thing. I'm only going to be here for a little bit. So hopefully it clears up by then. We got a question from Rick Hunt and says, do you think it is possible Euron Greyjoy has a Valyrian steel sword? Maybe Bright War. Well, if it's going to be a Valyrian steel sword in his possession, then the mic is off. The mic is completely off right now. You can't even hear it. Is what you're telling me. Wait a second. All right, is the mic back on right now? Is the mic on? Can you hear the mic? It looks like it's on. I'm looking at the things right now. It's saying that the mic is on. All right. So, this person, who's this RTK saying this stuff? You can't. It must be you, man. It must be you. All right. So now this guy made me miss my train of thought and stuff. All right, well, what was the goddamn question? Oh, the Valyrian steel sword. That's right. All right, so it's going in the possession of Euron Greyjoy. Yes, it has no choice but to be Bright Royal. Why would it just be some random Valyrian steel sword? Obviously, the man was in Valyria. He was down there. He has the full plate Valyrian steel armor. He's got to have a Valyrian steel sword to go with it. So if it's anything, then I have to think that without a doubt he has a Valyrian steel sword on him, and it would definitely be Bright Royal, the one that he has. Now, Euron Greyjoy is going to be a very formidable person in the books. I don't know if they're going to have him with this in the show. I have him like this. But the bottom line is, in the books, the man's going to have a dragon. He's going to have a Valyrian steel sword and Valyrian steel armor that we already see him with. So that's almost unfucking stoppable. You know what I mean? That is almost unstoppable. I don't know how he's going to be defeated. It's going to be very hard for him to be defeated and stuff, So in the books, in the show, I think he's going to go out quick. But in the books, it's going to be a hard out to get Euron out. Euron is going to sit the Iron Throne. When that book ends, Euron Greyjoy will be sitting on the Iron Throne at the end of that book. When we read the last page, until Dream of Spring starts, when Dream of Spring still starts, Euron Greyjoy will be sitting on that Iron Throne. He'll be on there. But I think that Cersei will get defeated and pushed off the Iron Throne by Aegon. But I think that Euron has to make his way over there with it. It's such a. This is why it's hard. You know what I mean? This is why it's hard, and I'm going to tell you right now. It's hard, and this is why I've always said that it can't be in these two books. He has to do 3 books. There's no way around it. And the reason why I give it number 1 is that Dance of Dragon and Feast is supposed to be 1 book. So if you make that 1 book, then he really has to have another extra book in there, right? Because you have to have Dany be the one to defeat Aegon. That's what the prophecy says, that she is the one who's going to expose the mother's dragon. So if that's the case, then when does Euron get in there with Cersei? Because I can't see Euron losing to Fagon. I don't see that whatsoever. I don't think Euron will get defeated by Fagon, but Fagon has to take the throne. He has to take the throne, unless he never does. You know, unless he never takes the fucking Iron Throne, Fagon, and he just gets Storm's End, and he gets broke up. And that's the only other way I could see it. If somehow he gets defeated after taking Storm's End, and he never gets the Iron Throne, because it's just, I don't know how he's gonna do it, and there's so many plot holes that he has to cover that it's just really hard for me to think that he can just do all this in 2 books. I just don't know how it's possible that's going to happen. That's just the way I see it. Yeah, Mo, I don't know, 1,000 pages a piece. I still don't see it getting done. I just don't see him being as detailed as he is as a writer. Now he has, unless he's going to skim over shit and just have stories being told by other people and not actually showing the battles and showing the things themselves. That's the only reason why I can see it to go down. You know what I mean? I can't really see it really happening like that. Will there be a Ricky Hunt asking for a dragon revolt against the dragon like we've seen before? I don't know if we're going to see a dragon revolt like that before. I mean, maybe. I think that's more the Maesters situation doing that right now with the Maesters. I think that they are the ones that are doing the revolt against the dragons and stuff like that. So if anyone, it would just be really the Maesters and their conspiracies to get rid of the dragons. I think the Maesters, the Faceless Men, that is what they're all up to, especially the Faceless Men, without a doubt. I think it's all the same situation. The Maesters and the Faceless Men. I think it's exactly the same situation that's going down. You know what I mean? I think when you have the Maesters and the Faceless Men, I think they're together, and I think that they are without a doubt, their job is to kill the dragons. They do not want to see old Valyria again. They're not trying to have that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. So the mic is back crystal clear again. Perfect. I said it usually comes back. It takes a little bit, but we're going to go, and since we have a bunch more people here watching right now, we're going to go through and give a couple of shout outs to the people that we see. So what up to my girl Laura's Corner? What up to Haymaker 7110? What up to Talking Thrones? What up to Moji Mo? What up to Daryl? What up to Big E? What up to my man Ricky Hunt? And what up to everybody else out in the chat? And we will definitely give out. And what up to my man Don the Cracking Wit? What up to my girl AK Alicia Kingston? What up to all y'all out there? We will go back. What up to Dennis James? What up to George? What up to Derek Brock? What up to Tamara Young? Hollisworth? You know what I mean? We are definitely going to go back and give some more shout outs in a little bit after we answer a couple more questions about what's going on from this promo trailer of Game of Thrones just dropped and everything else. And anything else from the upcoming season that you want to talk about. It's hard because, you know, it's like we have gotten so many plot leaks, right? And I'm not the type person to try to see the plot leak and then try to say I made the shit up. I don't do that. You know what I mean? And we gotten so many, and I've seen all the plot leaks. I've done a show on the plot leaks. I did the show on the plot leaks with Nico Lena right when they first came out, a 2-hour show with her, talking about everything in the plot leaks and all that, all the way back in the beginning. You know what I mean? And my feelings still stay the same on it. I don't think if you got it, you got everything. You know what I mean? If you didn't get it, it's not going to be nothing. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it, and that's all I got to say really about the plot leaks right now. Megan Smith asked, did you notice the darker themes from the trailer? Yes, I think it is a much darker theme, and I think that they have to go this route. You know what I mean? I think you have no choice but to go this route with the darker theme, you know, because it's got to be that way. I think that the thing that we're missing, and we're going to miss, I think we're going to miss a lot of Sansa and her storyline from the book. Since we're not really getting the true storyline from Sansa in the show right now. So I think we're going to miss a lot of the Sansa storyline this season. I don't think she's going to do a lot this season, in all honesty. Sansa has to take the veil. In the books, was talking about real quick. She has to. She has to take the veil. There's no other reason to have her aunt be in charge of the veil unless you're setting up Sansa to be a part of the veil. There's no other reason for that. That's the only reason I could see it. She has to take the veil. So I don't see, but I don't know if they're really going to show that in the show. I think they may skip over this whole situation because it may not, because I think that they're only doing things that really affect the final battle, the final outcome. You know what I mean? So I think they may skip over that and not do that situation. You know what I mean? So I think the rape scene that we've seen with Ramsay Bolton will happy with her with Harry the heir. I think that's what's going to happen to her there. I think she'll get raped by him, but I think it's not. She may kill him after though. Like that she kills the dude after she gets that done. You know what I mean? So I think they have to have that. They have to have her take that place. They got a weirwood fucking throne in the veil for a reason. For a reason they have that there, to show you that there's a Stark that's going to sit on this throne. And the fact that her aunt was the queen there, she has to be the queen there. And it's the only other safe place from the White Walkers. That can be safe there from the White Walkers is that spot. Because I think Winterfell is out of here. Winterfell's got to get overrun and get taken down. Hot springs and all this shit. I don't give a fuck. It's got to go. You know what I mean? So that's the way it goes, you know. Go back here and get some of these questions that passed by. Ricky Hunt asks, do you think Jon will go to the Crypts of Winterfell this season? Is Jon in the promo crypt is he in the crypt in the promo? I don't know if he's in the actual Crypts of Winterfell in the promo. That's making it look like he was walking, maybe he was leaving the crypt and going to that room. They're trying to make it seem like, but yes, he has to. He has to go to the Crypts of Winterfell because that goddamn sword's got to be down there. That's it. He's got to get that sword, and the sword has to be in that crypt. That sword and Rhaegar's harp is in that goddamn crypt. It's got to be. It's got to be in that crypt. There's no other way for it not to be in that goddamn crypt. I guarantee it'll be in there. So they got to show him with that. Now, the interesting thing from that is when he gets the crypt, when he gets that sword, what's he going to do with Longclaw? What happens to Longclaw after he gets that sword? Does he just throw it on the floor? Is he going to give it to somebody else? Who else would take Longclaw? Who would be the guy to get Longclaw from him? Does he give it back to Jorah Mormont? Does Jorah Mormont become the new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch when this is all said and done? Will there be a Night's Watch when this is all said and done? You know, so that's what would be a more interesting situation with it. But I think that Jon has to have that sword, without a doubt. So it's got to be up in there, without a doubt. You know what I mean? So that's where I feel. So yes, we will see the Crypts of Winterfell this upcoming season. All right, let's go back. Lauren Corners asks, what do you think of the trailer music? Personally was surprised but fucking loved it. You know, I don't really judge things, but I think it was a great choice for what they were doing. And if you watch my trailer breakdown video, I go right through the music and explain why they used this music for this trailer. So for that reason, I think it was a great choice for him to use it. But you know me, I'm a hip hop dude, so I would rather him, you know, play some Mobb Deep in that motherfucker, or get something popping like that. You know what I mean? But I don't think that ever will do. Why don't these shows be using hip hop music, man? You know, there's hip hop songs, some Onyx shit that could be used up in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? That it can go down and stuff like that. So it could definitely go down. They need to do that shit, but you know, I doubt it. You know what I mean? These dudes always want to use something else, but you know, it was all right. I thought it was due. I thought it was right. You know what I mean? You could definitely get some Wu-Tang in there. Hey, making you right on that. You can definitely get some Wu-Tang, some Raekwon. You know what I mean? Up in there would definitely work. So that's what we see. Tamara Young says, hell no, Jorah ain't getting Longclaw. Moji says Tormund gets long claw. Predicted that a while ago. Yes, Moji did predict. It's his prediction that Tormund will get long claw. Check out Moji Mo, my man, my right hand man. And you know my right hand's on the trigger. You know what I mean? And he got that. And so he go check that video out on my man right there. You know what I mean? And that's the way it be right there. Back up for some more questions. What up, John? How you doing, boss? Oscar Rodriguez asks, do you think an ice zombie giant could grab a giant from the rear naked choke till it passes out? And no, I don't think so at all. A giant's big, but a giant ain't no bigger than no dragon. The dragon's as big as a 747. Ice giant ain't a giant ain't that big. Giant get his ass handed to him. You fucking with a dragon? That's like, no, it's impossible. No, not at all. I don't think it happened. That's just me. Especially rear naked choke. No, he ain't getting on his back like that. You ain't getting. How you gonna get through that tail? How you getting past the tail? You're not getting. It's like you could jump on a crocodile's back and an alligator's back, because they're small. But if you made a crocodile or an alligator that big, you ain't jumping on the motherfucker's back. No way. Ricky Hunt asked, do you think that Bloody Dawn sword placed at Lyanna's bed at Tower Joy could be interpreting to him being beneath the bleeding star? I think that's exactly what it was interpretation of, Ricky Hunt, without a shadow of a doubt. That's what they were trying to say. That's why they put that there, and that's why they had the sword. And listen, they put the sword. They had no reason to have Ned Stark take the sword from him, carry it inside that room, and rest it on the bed if they weren't trying to say anything. That is right there. That is the whole situation. There's no doubt about it. I know people wanted to say Melisandre was the bleeding star. I thought Melisandre was the bleeding star. I mean, when you see her bleeding inside of the when she's having a dream, it could fit that she's the bleeding star. I really truly believe that. But after seeing the show, I think that they did that to show that Jon Snow was born under the bleeding star, and that's what the prophecy is. You know what I mean? So I would have to say, Moji asked, is 1-1 the last giant on the show since Magda Mai already died? Yes, 1-1 will be the last giant that we see in the show. There will be no other giants that we see. We're not going to see a lot of direwolves either. Listen, these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? They just, there's no need to skimp anymore. I mean, there's no need. I expect, and I swear to fucking God, see ice spiders and these motherfuckers riding on their backs. Not in this season, but at least the final season. They don't do that, I'm going to be very disappointed. I expect to see this shit. And I don't want it to be like they did the wall shit. Like when they had the giant on the one mammoth. They had one fucking mammoth. You know what I mean? One mammoth. That's all you can muster up? One fucking mammoth? Motherfucker? Really? Come on, man. You could put some more fucking mammoths in there on some giant's back and he gets burnt in the ass and runs away and that's it. Come on, man. That's some bullshit. Some straight bullshit right there. Or as my stepfather would say, shit. That's exactly what that was, motherfucker. Without a doubt, you know what I mean? So that's the way I would have to see that shit. Lauren Corner asks, after the cold Cersei breath in the trailer, will she be bathed? I'll tell you what happened was. I'm actually doing a video on that right now. And when I was doing the video and editing the video, and I was editing it tonight, so when you see that video, you're going to see me wearing the same shirt. Don't think I'm wearing it in two different videos when I am, because it's a different separate video, but I record that in the same night. This before I got on here. And I started fucking up. I kept having to do the edit, and I fucked up so many times in the video that I got so upset I had to edit so much. I said, fuck it, let me just do a live stream. And that's the reason why I turned this shit on right now, because I was just frustrated to do it. But I am answering that question actually in this video that I'm doing. So I will drop that video and then I will answer that goddamn question. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Tamara Young says, I want an ice spider. Goddamn right, Tamara. I want a fucking ice spider too. Stop bullshitting me. You got the money. Y'all are rich hand over fucking fist. Motherfucking deal. Put some of that money in a goddamn ice spider. Don't show me all them dragons all the time. I don't need to see the dragons like that. I'd rather see an ice spider. Show me a goddamn ice spider. Q&A. Will we see Arya and Nymeria reunion? Will Asher Dame ever be on the show? Ashara Dame. So, answer the second part of the question. I'm not seeing Ashara Dame. There's no need to see her. She's not really that important. Not in the end game or anything to do with that situation. I mean, if you want to say that you've seen her already, that she was Quaith, and that's Ashara Dame, or some people want to say she's something more, you know, whoever you want to say she is. If she was under the mask, then you already seen her. They're not bringing back Quaith again. You'll never see her again, ever again. So it would definitely be no. The answer to Don will have to say no. Second part of the question, I think you have to. You know what I mean? That I'm not gonna really say. I mean, I'm not really gonna say it's that that was mentioned in the plot leak. So I'm not going to really say anything about it too much. But as a person thinking about the show, even if I didn't leak in or anything like that, you have to. There's no reason not to show her, at least see her for a second or something like that. I mean, I would think you have, but the way they treat everything, you never know. You know, but you would think that they have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You would think they would have to have something going on there with her and all that good shit. All right, what up to everyone? We got a lot of people watching right now. We up to what 89 people watching and stuff. So thank you for 89 people tuning in on this improv dude. It's great, you know. It's a really good feeling that I can get 89 people to come over here and just watch me without even any promotion, without anything. Just turn my camera on and I got you in here. And I promise you that when I do the pregame show, not just the pregame show, the pregame motherfucking show, which will start at 6 o'clock. Every week before the Game of Thrones season starts, I'll be live at 6 o'clock all the way up to 8:30. And then when it's the big, like the opening episode, we're going to start at 5. Because I'm going to give y'all half an hour to get ready for the show. So it's going to be 5 to 8:30 the first one. And then the last episode, we do 5 again. But after that, it'll be 6 o'clock to 8:30. We're going to get that, and when I do that, I won't have the camera in this position. I put the camera in the regular position. And as usual, I will have on A Song of Ice and Fire, other YouTubers from any channel, no matter their subscribers count. If you want to get down, just hit me up. And you know how we do. Half an hour with the Don, each person. Half an hour on and off, on and off, on and off. And we're taking all y'all questions the whole time. You know what I mean? 1 week, we're going to do on and off and get them on and get them off. And the next week, we're going to just keep them on for the whole ride. And then we'll keep switching it back and forth week to week. That's Eastern Standard Time, my friend. I'm from New York. That's the only time I know. You know what I mean? So everything I do is Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check out the one and only pregame show. You know what I mean? So it's going to be just like NFL. We going. And we going for hours on it. And we talking. And we doing our thing. You know what I mean? So that's the way we get that shit going on. You know what I mean? That's the way it's going on, man. So definitely can't wait. So definitely make sure you tune into that. Always have a good time doing it. And, you know, last year, who we had on last year? We had Phil the Issue Guy. We had Bar. We had Mo. We had Don Willie. We had Don the Cracking Whip. We had Sir Hunt's Reviews. We had Aziz. We had Yo Boy. We had Alicia Kingston. We had Spink Sister. We had everybody. Anyone, James Buchel, anyone you could think of that had a channel, we had that had a channel that's worthwhile, we had them on the show. You know what I mean? So it's going to be fun. We're going to have all these people again on there, and hopefully we have a couple of new channels that we did not get a chance. Only thing we had Ideas of Ice and Fire. We had everyone on there. You know what I mean? We had Otaku Assemble up on there. Doesn't watch Game of Thrones anymore, but one of the reasons why I started my channel And that's why I had to have that man on there, because he was the first guy I ever seen do this. You know what I mean? So that's why I had to have that man up there. It's a blessing to get that dude. They're a blessing to have everybody up there. But we had the camera in the regular position, and you can see the full-on Don. And you know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be lit like it always was. You know what I mean? Because when we do those shows, we doing like you know, we be doing like 79. When we do those pregame shows, we do like 800 live watches. So you want to be in the chat with 800 people, you're gonna see how it feels to be in the chat with 800 people, baby. Because that's the way that shit usually goes, baby. You know what I mean? So definitely come through and take a listen. We're gonna have the gray area. She's already booked in there. You know, we'll have AUPAC Mule. You know, we'll have a bunch of other people in there. So definitely get that done and watch that without a doubt and stuff like that. So we gonna go back and take some more questions about this. We got Plex ask, why are the Starks so concerned with making sure the King's Lord of Winter stays locked in their crypt by laying the Iron Sword? Do you think this will be in the show, or do you smell, I think you mean King John there or something like that? So what I'm thinking is like this. Now, it may mean something dealing with the wayward people. Maybe somehow that the sword does prevent the souls from going into the wayward streets. You know what I mean? So maybe that's a situation or something like that. I think it would be more that, yeah, we had Ray was up there. You had everybody up there last year. You check it out. Yeah, you can definitely get in the pregame show. One True Adams, you know, anyone can get on there. Like I said, and Rolling Corner, you can definitely get up in there and join in there. As like I said, we definitely have anyone who wants to get in there. We definitely have it. And what I'll do from 1 week, we'll just have a straight fan situation, you know. But going back to, and we'll just take all subscribers and have them on there and have them live at the time. You know what I mean? For 1 week out there, instead of just the YouTubers, so the YouTubers can actually see the fans. The only thing I ask when you do the pregame show, you got to show yourself on the camera. Yeah, no birds. You can't have the train in the background. You can't have snowflakes falling. You can't do that. We need to see your beautiful faces. All right, people want to see your face. People want to see who you are. You got to be able to do that. So, I mean, only people that would have on the show are people who are willing to show themselves. People gotta hide and don't want to be seen. I can't fuck with that. I don't like people who hide. Like, this is YouTube. You know, people want to see you. That's what YouTube's all about. It's not a podcast. You know, if it was podcast, it would be fine. But it's not YouTube. People want to see the person. You know what I mean? Because that's how you can tell what the hell's going on with people and stuff like that, and how everything is going on and stuff like that. Like, I need to see people's eyes when they say that stuff that they be saying, so I can see if they talking shit or not. I need to see them and see if they looking stuff up for answers, or they really know. Because, you know, it's all right if you haven't read the books. I'm totally fine with that. Not everyone has to read the books. Don't front to the dime like you did. If you front to me and I'm gonna ask you a question and you don't know the answer, you're gonna get a follow-up question on that. Don't try to play it. I just rather you just say, hey, I didn't watch it, and that's all I know. You know, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Nothing at all. You know what I mean? That's right. Big E, no faceless men in the pregame show, son. We don't do that shit, baby. We don't do that. I think we had Sexy Amber Chipman on the pregame show last year. I know I had her wrong. I don't know if it was that. Question from Tanner Scott. What do you think will go down between John and Theon? Well, if John runs into Theon, there's only one thing that we've seen John do: kick people's ass, right? If we go through the whole history of Jon Snow, from the first time we seen him to the last time we seen him, he just kicks people's asses. Jon Snow is the executioner. I said that before. Anyone Jon fights, he beats. He's not losing a fight in the show, ever, to anyone. No one's kicking his ass. So that's what would happen. I mean, nothing else could happen there. He's going to kick his ass, man. He's going to beat the hell out of him. That's what's going to happen. That's Jon Snow, man. He's the star of the show. He's beating everybody up. You know, it's like Eddie Murphy said, you know, I'm a movie star. In the movies, I kick your ass. But in real life, you know, he ran into that Italian guy. He ran into that Italian guy. Hilarious. He punched him in the mouth, and the guy said, come on. And Murphy's like, whoa. Turned his lips to Kid Harington gets down, but in the show, Kid Harington to kick your ass, man. Don't fuck with that man in the show. Plex asked, will we see more Quake? No, I answered that. I think, no, we will not see it. Courtney G said, love you. I hope that's me. I love you too, Courtney. I love you, girl. Thank you for tuning in and watching it down. I'm really happy to see you here. You know what I mean? We're going to give shout outs to people in a second. We're going to go through some more shout outs for the new people that came through. Question here from Plex. Who on the show has a better game, Barry's or Littlefinger? Yeah. I'm actually doing a whole series on Barry's and Littlefinger, and I'm going over those exact points and proving who has the better game in the thing. So I'm not going to fully answer the question, but I will say it like this. From right now, in the books, we're going to go through the books. In the books, it looks like, wait, let me say, good night, Timo. You just got here. God damn it, man. You bouncing like that? So what up to my girl, Timo, and peace out to my girl, Timo, all in the same breath. Just like that. Just leaving me like that. So yeah, that's what happens when you got husbands and shit. Just make you leave and shit. I see you watching Tony Teflon and Don. They be like, no, you ain't watching that, Jigga. Not on my watch. Not on my cable bill. You better turn that brother off right now and get up in here. That's what be happening. Husbands be hating to die, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. So what I'm saying in the situation is that in the books, though Peter Baelish has accomplished a lot more, there seems that his plan, though it's been fucked up, Varys' plan, but it seems that his plan has been more right now in effect. You know what I mean? So that's what it looks like right now, that he has a better chance of his plans actually working than Peter Baelish's plans actually working. And I will definitely go into more of that when I do the video. So please get ready to check out that video whenever I get a chance to record and upload it. All right, so I turned the mic on, turned it back off. I heard the mic is fucking up again. Like I said, it's terrible out here. It's so terrible. My internet service is the shittiest service in the world. I only have DHL, which is basically dial-up. You know what I mean? I'm probably better off just fucking streaming and shit through my fucking my cell phone, man. But hopefully, once again, as it did before, it usually lasts about 10 or so minutes, and then it goes back to regular. So hopefully, it does go back to regular, and we can endure for a little bit until it gets back. I don't know how long we'll be streaming for, almost an hour. We'll probably go down to for another half an hour and do this for an hour and a half. So let's keep the questions coming. But before we do get the questions coming, we got to go back into the chat. And sorry that it's distorted at this particular time, but I'm going to shout out the new people that I see that just joined us up here in the chat. So what up to my man JD the Dragon? McGregor. It's Colin McGregor. Uh-oh. He may be the cousin. Shoot out here about to fight. What up to What up to my girl Jasmine? What up to Lawrence Comer? What up to Tamara Young? I done shouted you out 3 times, girl, but I'm happy to see you. That's why I'm shouting you out so much. What up to 1-1? What up to the Lord of the Last Heart? I heard you supposed to hit me up, Lord of the Last Heart. I'm waiting for that. Hit me up. What up to my man Brett Cole? Who else do we got up in here? Any other new people? We got a bunch of new people up in here. People are shy. What up to Shamala Williams? What up to all you people out there, all my people, all my family, you know what I mean, who represent for House Teflon, who support House Teflon, who's been with Teflon TV either for a little bit or for a long time. I love you all. I got nothing but love for you. You know, without y'all, ain't no reason for me doing that. What up to Eli? What up, homie? How you doing, young boy? What up to Dennis James? And Dennis James has a question. And the question is, what do you want to see as the first scene in season 7? What up to Courtney Z? What would be the first thing I would like to see? I think the first thing that we're probably gonna see what's gonna am I back? Back here for a second. I told you people. Am I back? Can you see me? Am I there? Because it says I'm back, but but is it out or is it back on? Because it says I'm back. All right, yes, I'm back. All right, so I'm telling you, my book, terrible. So we gotta do it out, makes everything else. So it's crazy. So as I was saying before, see the with the attorney of Harrenhal flashback. Back to Bran touching, getting off the tree, heading to the wall, and right to Jon Snow. That flashback. Thank Brock. What up to Tamara Young? Another shout out. What up to Straight Stone? What up to the Indie Sports Car Podcast? Check them out. What up to DJ 11? What up to Daryl Gott? What up to Lucoze Ja? What up to that? Oh my God, can't see you. What the fuck? The Dimes are doing me dirty right now. You can't see me right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me see if I type something to you. You can't see me right now? Really? You can see me. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. Jesus, man, it's getting terrible. We're gonna have to cut this motherfucker short then today, because I'm not just gonna have it just going in and out and everything else. It makes no sense for me to do that. I keep it like it is. So we're gonna keep it 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes, all right? And that's it. What up to Lady Marmalade? And then I hope y'all had a good time. I'm sorry that the first half I had no choice but to give my opinion on the Justice League trailer and man, do that on my channel, so I had to do that, you know what I mean? I had no choice. And I might not be myself. It might be Jack and Hagar, my spot. Right now, I am drinking. Right now, I'm drinking Miller Lite. I don't really like to, but that's all I had to have right now to drink. So I'm drinking a couple of Miller Lights right here. Bought the new Game of Thrones the Valar Morghulis pack of beer. I have that, but I'm gonna keep that down. I'm gonna hold that down to the start. And that, as I said before, I'm also doing a tour brewery. So I'm going to do that. I have permission from the people there and stuff. So I'm going to go to Armageddon Brewery. I'm going to do a whole video stream there out there, and I'm going to walk you around the Armageddon Brewery, and I'm going to sample all the beers that they have there. Hope you enjoy that when I do that. You know, I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit warmer before I get out there and do that situation. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to do that. Red Stripe beer. Yeah, man. I drink Red Stripe. You know I'm Jamaican. Lord of mercy. No, Don ain't Jamaican. You know what I mean? But I drink Red Stripe. You know, my beer choice, I would have to say, if I had to pick one beer choice, I like melon would be my beer of choice if I had one beer. So if you ever have a chance to get a beer, I suggest get that beer, Hella High Watermelon. Check that beer out. Armageddon beer is very good. But you know, it's all about what you know. I like beer. When we talking beer real quick. I like beer. I like the taste of beer. I'm not like you know, no Coors Light. That's not beer to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a beer to me. You know, so I don't like that stuff like that. You know what I mean? One asks, what's your favorite got beer? My favorite one that I liked was the first one they came up with, the Blonde Pale Ale. I thought that was the best beer that they came out with. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I can't drink no goddamn Coors water. I can't drink. That's not beer. Yeah, it's not. That's not beer. That's something for ladies. That's ladies. You know what I mean? I remember we were in I was in my job and shit like that, right? And Teflon story time. And we were sitting there and we were talking about drinks. And I was like, yeah, you know, I drink Hennessy. You know, I got the pure white Hennessy. I got that right here, the Hennessy pure white. You ever see that? I don't know if anyone ever seen. Let me grab real quick for it. You know what I mean? You know what that pure white Henny? You know what I'm saying about that? The pure white Henny? Anyone know about the pure white Henny? All right, all right, all right. Anyone know about that? So yeah. So I was in my job real quick, and we were talking about drinking. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? You know, I'm a Hennessy man, I'm a black man. You know, is what the Hennessy to black people is what Jack Daniels is to white people. All right, that's the way it is. So I was talking like that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what I mean? I like Henny. And then this other man, Jim, my man Jim, he goes in there, he goes, well, I like Smirnoff, like talking about the drink Smirnoff, not the vodka, but this is a little Smirnoff. And I was like, what? You like Smirnoff? And then this guy in there that was gay that worked with us, and they turned around. He goes, I like Smirnoff too. On his beer. Take a little time. Freezing. I know chicks that enjoy that twisted tea. They enjoy that twisted tea. And you know, if you need, I'll buy that for you all night long. I got you. Let me see if I'm still with you. I gotta check once in a while, make sure you know what I mean? Am I still with you? All right, so you can see, so I'm back right now. I gotta confirm that I'm here and stuff, because this shit's breaking up. We gonna cut this short soon. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the more we keep getting more viewers, and the more viewers we get, it keeps fucking up more. So what up to my man LC Giles? What up to DK Thomas? What up to yeah. Like what up to my man Fernandez? All right, what up to Fancy? What up? Yeah, so if you didn't know, if you didn't see that because it broke up, let me show you. Right here. This right here, baby. Let me tell you about this right here, baby. Let me tell you about this right here, baby. With you, when you get, you can't get this in the United States. No, 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 no. You can't get that in the United States of America. You got to go overseas to hold that down. You know what I'm saying? You got to go over there to have that right there. That down, then you know what it is. I see. Good question, Ricky. So let me go back and answer this question now. What Ricky said. Ricky Hunt asked, "Is there a theory that if it came true, would cause you to quit reading?" ah, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Is there something that would make me quit reading? You know, I don't think so. I don't really, look, I got a lot of theories out there that I made up myself. So attached to them that if something didn't happen or something else or I was wrong, I would stop. It doesn't mean nothing to me because I didn't write the book. Anything I ever make up me personally myself is I come up with, and it's just just so happens that I just guess right a billion times. Like I just guessed right probably more than any YouTube one on Reddit. That's just the way it is. And I'm sure people hate the fact that I have gotten so much of it right, but I did. 2 tears in the bucket. Let's take it to the stage, motherfucker. I'm here. You know what I mean? So, there's nothing that I has ever said or ever has happened with the books because I didn't get it right. If I could get anything right out of anything that I came up with, I would definitely want to get the pink letter right. If I can just get one right, everything else wrong, the pink letter that Stannis wrote, that motherfucker. Give me that one. That's the one I want to get because that's the one I came up with. It was like one of my first things that I came up with ever. One that I write. You know what I mean? And I see that this shit is still fucking here and there. I said I'd do 15 minutes. We got 4 more minutes on that 15 minutes. So that's what it is. If I can get anything right, we go through shit I got right real quick for you. I got right the Children of the Forest. I pulled that shit. I told y'all about those motherfuckers. Got that right. Bang that out. Bam. Right. It's not confirmed yet, but the Euron Cersei shit is just about confirmed. Bang that out. Boom. I got right the Sam Tarly would be the one to cure grayscale. Bang that out. Boom. I got more than that right. There's a lot. I got right that Cersei Lannister would name Qyburn the Hand of the Queen. I don't think anyone ever seen that coming, but I called that shit a long time ago. Boom. I got a lot of these motherfuckers right. You know what I mean? But if I can get anything right, anything, fucking letter. I want that motherfucker bad. That's all I want. Now, all the things I just said, it's not confirmed yet. It looks like it's going to be right from what we see it be, but is it confirmed that it is right now? No, it is not confirmed. But trust me, when this season starts, just like I told you about the Children of the Forest, when everyone else thought that they were sweet little creatures, when everyone else thought they were Ewoks, and we got to go by what they showed us on the show. And I said this before the show. When you show this on the show, when they showed them, I said this before they showed them on the show. But when they showed them on the show, the first way they showed them not the second time when they did the remake of them. You know, everyone thought after seeing them, he says, "This is so sweet, little creatures here to help mankind." I told you the deal. I told you they were evil little motherfuckers from the jump. I told you. I told you in that video, Ned Stark's Bones, that they created the White Walkers. I don't want to believe, but you believe me now. And I told you about Euron and Cersei over 3 years ago. It's gone. Damn sure looks like it's gone. You know what I mean? I told you when I did that Children of the Forest video, this is my video. They made videos coming in, but they didn't make no follow-up videos. All of a sudden, all right, let's go back to a couple of questions here. Plexi asks, do you think the Knights is the original last hero? No, I don't. I think that the Night's King on the show is this Stark that they captured Forrest and they put something through his chest. Now, when I look at in the books, I think in the last hero or high, all these people are going to be any other way, stuff like that, you know. That's what it is. JY asked why are the children of the take it as that. I'm not trying to tell you that that's not the case. To me, they're evil. When you that could resurrect a dead person, that's pretty evil. Have I do believe that I'm not going to keep and going like this. I'm just going to have to end this right now. That it just stops because no, they just keep doing me dirty. Yeah, so this thing, I don't know. It's saying that the app is fucking up. It's saying that this whole situation that I don't know what they're saying. This they just trying to fuck with me, man. They just trying to fuck. Can you see me right now? Let me see. Can you see me? Make sure. I don't. You may not be able to see me because I can't even see my own voice and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It keeps fucking up right now. You can see it because I see my voice on it right now. You know what I mean? Because it's fucked up why it keeps fucking up. But I'm gonna have to end it so that way it doesn't end. Real quick, let me answer the children of the forest before I go. We are not going to be able to do the Rep My Hood because I don't know if it's going to last. Rep My Hood, you know what I mean? But everybody out here, thank you again for coming in right now. It's like ay, 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 ay. We're gonna end this video. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so I'm gonna end this video right now. So please, thank you. Subscribe, and until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.